Hello and welcome. Silrace here with World of Tanks. I have two replays for you today. Yes, these are being made from replays because I played these games some time back before I'm recording this. Anyway. So I'm gonna call this sort of like it was going so well. But sometimes it goes pretty well, but it doesn't end all that well. As you might guess from the thumbnails on this video. So 50 TP prototype. This is one of my few tier 8 premium tanks that I have. This one looked awesome and such, so I grabbed it. Like, I grabbed it at the time the Polish heavy tanks were added to the game. Basically, when this thing was added, I was like, hey, that looks awesome. I'm getting that, so I can do some credit making with a tier 8 heavy premium. And the other one is going to be a T25/2 tier 7 American TD tank destroyer. And yes, both games are on this particular map, Malinovka, but they are from the different spawns. You might consider this sort of a, what would be the proper, what would be a good English word for it? Like a heartbreak, maybe? Where like, it's going well and stuff, and then suddenly it kind of ends not going so well. But yes, I am just rambling here while we are climbing the hill. I could cut some of this early movement and such out of this video, but I kind of want to leave it on so that you can, if you are really interested, you can see stuff like positions of friendlies and enemies and oppositions and so on the minimap, because that gives you an idea of what is going on and what is happening and such to begin with. Because the minimap happens to be one of the most important aspects of games which have a minimap. I am very familiar with the minimap importance, and I will talk about that just a little bit in the next replay, a little bit more there, because finally we are up here. That took a little while of climbing. And I like playing hill on Malinovka. Basically, no matter the tank I'm in, I come over to the hill. Oh, nope. No, I don't want to be shot by that. Okay, you're a little too aware of my position here. However, if you decide to look elsewhere, I am going to at least attempt to pull a shell in. I like this thing, it has gun depression and it's a pretty damn good turret, and it also has some hull armor to go with it as well. You know, I really like this tank. I haven't played it a crazy lot, but I really quite like it so far. Oh, hello. That's a tank. I have no idea what the capabilities of, but I mean, if it... Whoa, okay. Well, that got lucky. If it shows its... well, entire hull to me like that, so that I can actually shoot the lower part of the hull, lower plate as it's usually called. I probably don't need to know. And I'm also, if you look, I am loading the premium rounds, the better rounds you pay more money for. Used to be purely for gold, right? Way back when, until that changed. Anyway, so I am. You're firing those because I'm firing at the tier 10s here. Two tiers higher. Instead of one tier higher. And nope. Apparently the turret is still too strong. IS-7 turret is made of IS material. Whatever material IS is made of. Okay, you're still looking at me? Yes, you are. I was... the fact that I managed to also bounce the shell of my turret is a really good indicator, but I was trying to go for his engine deck there. I was like, okay, can I set you on fire as well? I already set somebody else on fire. And it didn't quite work out that way. But as I was saying, on Malinovka, basically, regardless of the tank I am playing, I am getting on this hill, because I find sitting around anywhere else on the map really stupidly boring. So I don't want to sit around and wait for stuff to happen. If you come to the hill, you generally find something that is going to be happening, and there it is. It was going so well. It started out so well. I was doing stuff. I was getting hits into the tier 10s and so on. And I even set on fire and blew up the tier 9. And that's how it ends. Oh, so very appropriate. Now, what I could have done differently? Well, I could have played the position better to begin with. I could have gotten more shots into the IS-7 if I really tried to. But I didn't actually know. I had no idea if the IS-7 can just go through my turret frontally, just straight up. So I have no idea. And I definitely should have driven down with a little bit more care. I could have gone on to actually enjoy this game more. But that's how it ends, in a ball of fire from a big tank destroyer. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Round 2, Malinovka. Like I said, T25/2. This is a thing just I randomly own, mostly because I played a bunch of Hellcat way back when it was. I think yeah, it was nerfed. It was changed, adjusted a long time ago now. But way back when it was really good. So my friends were like, "Hey, let's just play Hellcat platoon." So I played a bunch of Hellcat way back when. And that's basically how I unlocked this thing. Then I eventually bought this thing and also realized that the tank destroyers really aren't my thing in this game. But I played from time to time for like a round or two. And yes, I am going on the hill. I mentioned I am basically no matter what, I'm going on the hill on this map. I'm a tier 7 tank destroyer with like no armor. In a tier 9 matchup, and I'm still going to the dang hill. Because sitting anywhere else, like I said, is boring to me. There is that. Now, I am at least going there really carefully, because I was like, hey, I don't want to be shot to pieces. Thanks. So I'm going on the hill. At least this thing has like gun and turret and gun depression, so it can actually do something on the hill from time to time. But probably still a bad idea to come to the hill. Possible shot? Nope. Don't think I would have gone through the turret anyway. I mean, it's a T-54, it has a really tough turret. But yeah, this thing has a turret. But, which is to say, it has a turret, but the turret doesn't really have armor, as far as my experience with it goes anyway. Sometimes some folks keep saying that yes, it has armor, but generally I don't see it. That's just my opinion, and well, not just my opinion, just my experience rather, not just purely my opinion. However, we are here. We are actually here faster because, well, this is a faster tank than the 50 TP prototype. And I have a tier 8 I can shoot at once the friends push along a little bit, because I don't want to shoot at it alone. That seems like a really bad idea. Tier 8 that which I can actually like go through if I get it from the side or possibly a lower plate. The pike nose on the 110 does have fairly high slope on that on the lower plate pike. We tried for a little tiny shot there. Try to give it a new haircut. Nope. Second one worked, but I hit the turret. Obviously, in front of the turret, decided to turn around for me. But I mean, if this Löwe is just going for it, I might just as well do this as well and put a shell in. But nope. I am absolutely rushing these shells. I am not trying to fully aim this stuff and so on. But this is where I realize, looking at the minimap, I'm like, wait, I have no base anymore. Let's start going back. This is my, you've watched my previous videos. This is my thought process generally. It's like, whenever it looks like I may need to defend the base, and I am in some sort of a situation where I can pull away from it, I am gonna go back and defend the base, although at this point I'm going to first try and help this push a little bit before I go back to the base. Because if you look at the minimap, there are stuff just charging in there. Well, those things are dead. And there we go. There is a bad chat. There is a lot of other things, and nothing is actually defending base. Right? There's basically no base defense. So I am gonna go back and defend the base. And this was absolutely correct decision to do. It's amusing whenever somebody is like, hey, defend the base, and they are already charging into the opposing base towards the opposing base. Now granted, the person who did that is actually coming to help defend the base, which is fantastic. But yeah. Bad chat. There we go. We'll put the shell in and then interrupt the capture. Put in another shell. Please stand still. Thank you very much. Thankfully, that thing has like no armor, so I can put some shells in. And I put in a third one and get a little bit more, just tiny bit more base defending. Now I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Okay, I'm like, okay, there's one tank in the capture, and so we have some time. I can wait for friendlies to make their way there, and I mean, I just put in a blind shell, and then I realized, oh, there is actually 3 tanks there. I need to go and see them like right now. If I want to actually have any chance of winning this game. And somebody else nicely provides me with the vision, so let's do a rushed shot, because I realize I was spotted and I will be eaten by these things which are sitting in the cap circle, and I do that, bounce that, so I reload into a high explosive shell to ensure there we go. Turret armor. Nope. Don't exist on this tank. Don't ever think it exists. The UDAS goes in, provide me with vision, and I have a high explosive shell to guarantee that. And actually I bounce a shell with the turret somehow. But is it really charging down here? Yes, it is. Well then. Well then. There we go. We have defended the cap circle. So, going back home, I mean, if I hadn't turned around and gone back home, I believe they would have won. Without me doing the early interrupts, if the bad chat would have been able to just sit there and capture the start with the 2 others, the T34/100, just arriving in there to join it, I think they would have won. Not 100% sure on that, obviously, and such, but I believe so. But yeah, as I mentioned, minimap, most important thing in any game which features a minimap. No matter how well you play in the other things around the map, and that was an absolutely rushed shot. I was just completely utterly afraid of being shot to pieces from the side. But this is also, you know, that was not allowed to hit. Here we go, finally. So, minimap. I mean, most people who hang around my YouTube channel and watched my old videos and stuff know that my video gaming started mostly with something called StarCraft, as in StarCraft Brood War, the first StarCraft. And in that game, in real-time strategy games, which I have spent a whole lot of hours playing, even though they aren't really featured in my YouTube channel all that much, like very little of my videos have been centered around the real-time strategy stuff, even though that's the genre of game I used to play almost exclusively way back when. Anyway, the point I was making is that in games like StarCraft Brood War and StarCraft 2, Dawn of War, so on, if you don't play around with the minimap, if you don't learn how to read the minimap and react to things happening on the minimap, you're never going to win any games, or you are very unlikely to win any games. You might win an occasional one. And so, in World of Tanks, one of the key things I try to do is to be aware of the minimap. Now granted, I don't know the maps well enough. I have just returned to the game after many years of not playing and stuff, especially the new maps. I don't know the maps well enough to recognize like what is the most important thing on the minimap to you know, positions and all of that stuff, or where are the sight lines, like if you sit in this position in the minimap, which of these hills and whatnot breaks my line of fire. I don't know those things yet. I will eventually learn them again and stuff, so trial by error. Works for me usually. I am just sitting in this bush hoping that somebody gives me vision here and so on, and then you see this happening, right? I push as I see the G's or whatever that is, the vehicle I have no clue about, just going into it, and I'm like, well, it was going so well. I was even so patient towards the end, and then I see the G's are like slowly starting to creep in, and I was like, I'm gonna push in a little bit. I was hoping to get to this second set of bushes here to try and you know, ensure that I have a little better line of fire. However, a little bit too greedy, I suppose, here at the end. It was going so well. I even defended the base, successfully defended the place. Well, base is a place, but yeah, you get what I mean. Hopefully these were entertaining. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you folks next time with more World of Tanks.